Welcome back to Tallish Thickish. I'm Sarah. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, thank you so much for joining me today. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for continuing to show up for me. Your consistency and your support really mean a lot to me. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about Buffbunny collection. I am really excited about Buffbunny collection, and there are some things since the last review that I'm excited to share with you. Today is actually launch day for the Vita collection. The Vita collection, if you're not aware, is a collaboration with Buffbunny collection and one of their athletes. And this in particular is very special for me to witness. As a mid-sized athlete who is on the curvy side, I love to see another mid-sized athlete who is curvy get represented by an activewear brand and be able to do an entire collection that has them in mind and that also has their heritage in mind. So I'm really excited about this collection, just the fact that it's happening, just the fact that this kind of collaboration is coming out. It really does mean a lot to me. I like to see this kind of representation, and I really love to see this kind of inclusivity. So I'm really excited to shop the launch here in a couple of hours. Some of the pieces I'm going to be trying on today are included in the launch, and some of the pieces are just in stock on the website. But before I get into what I actually have, I wanted to give you some thoughts on Buffbunny collection and what I've observed in the last 60 days or so of following the brand. So the first thing that I really appreciate about Buffbunny collection is their returns and their shipping. I am in the US, and when I buy from them, I tend to get my package within 3 or 4 business days. So I really appreciate the fast turnaround time on that. And when I register a return, I can return it at a local Ulta, which is very convenient for me. And I do really like shopping at Ulta. So I like the convenience of just being able to drop off my package at Ulta. I get an Ulta coupon for doing so, and my return starts to get processed immediately, and I see my refund really quickly. So I appreciate how easy it was for me to put together this haul, because I was able to try on some pieces and send some back and work on my sizing, and they made it really easy. Shipping is not free with Buffbunny collection unless you purchase a certain amount, and returns are not free unless you are doing some exchanging. There is a fee for a return label to ship items back. That is something to keep in mind, but for the purpose of putting together a try on haul and trying to figure out sizing so that you don't have to pay for the shipping label, I found it a pretty convenient process for me. So I hope that today's review will help you with your sizing, so that hopefully you don't find yourself in a situation where you're needing to ship something back and having to pay a small fee. Something else I've really appreciated that I've observed from Buffbunny collection in the short time I've been following them is that they seem to have some frequent sales, and I love to see that. And they've been different items that have gone on sale. I think there have been 3 or 4 since late February, and that speaks to a different level of inclusivity. That means that other people have an opportunity to get their hands on some pretty good quality activewear. I can't say that anything I've purchased from Buffbunny collection has been overpriced in my opinion, or that it hasn't been up to par when it comes to quality. For the most part, for me, things just seem to not be fitting super well. Today I have sports bras and bottoms. The original intention behind today's haul was to work out my sizing with this particular brand and come to you with sets that I liked and their different materials that they offer and that fit me pretty well. That was the original intention. You're gonna find out today that Buffbunny collection sports bras don't work super great for me. I was trying to find higher coverage sports bras. I'd like to get into higher impact or just more cardio now that my hip is healing up. But the higher coverage sports bras from Buffbunny collection are very uncomfortable for me. So I have quite a few sports bras that I'm going to be trying on, some that are higher coverage. I kind of gave up on that and then tried some of their more popular sports bras or some of their lower coverage sports bras, and those aren't necessarily working out for me either. I do have one success, and I'm really excited about the one that is working really well for me, but I do have a lot of misses. With the bottoms, I have had better luck, and I am really liking liking the quality. Before I get into all these different pieces, I'll just review my sizing. I wear 38D in conventional bras. I measure at 44 inches on the widest part of my bust. My waist today is measuring at 37 inches and my hips are measuring at 47 inches. My quads measure at 27 inches on the thickest part around, and I have a 31-inch inseam, and I am 5'9". Today I have pieces that are ranging from extra large to size large. First, I'm going to go through the sports bras, and I'm going to go through the sports bras by material. I have 3 different materials today. We have the Dream Heather, Nubre, and Butter. So I'm going to start with what I'm wearing. This is the Twilight Dream Heather Sports Bra. This is in the color Sunbeam, and this is in an extra large. Turn around and let you take a look at the back. So here we do not have anything that is adjustable. We do have some very thick and very stretchy straps. I do want to just say this really quick. If I am breathing heavily, I apologize, but I'm going to go ahead and just tell you that I feel like a lemon that is being squeezed. And it is very hard for me to breathe in this sports bra. That is, again, in an extra large. My sports bra size is typically an extra large, but I sized up since I didn't have great luck with the sports bras in the last review that were in my true size, but I'm not having much luck either in this size up. So if I'm breathing heavily, I apologize. I genuinely feel like I'm just being squeezed. Part of the squeezing is happening right where all of these straps are meeting. They really do compress. I don't know if that's because of how broad-backed I am and the amount of tension that I'm putting on them, but it is really digging. It is very uncomfortable just standing. So this is definitely not something that I could work out in because I'm just not comfortable even standing in it because of the amount of tension and the amount of pressure that it's putting into my back here is very uncomfortable. In the front, it doesn't really get much better for me. Something that's a little bit different for my frame. I am busty, but I am also very broad and very wide. On top of that, I really like to train push. I have a shoulder day and I have a chest day. One of the goals that I'd like to meet by the end of the year is I would like to be able to bench 135 pounds. So I'm broad and I'm just looking to build more muscle underneath. So that's something to keep in mind when I say this. But I really despise the side coverage here in this bra. It seems to kind of like come down and then dip out. And where it's dipping out for me is cutting into my pecs. It's very uncomfortable. This would be much more comfortable for me if I could tuck that in. That is actually so much more comfortable, and I already feel like I can breathe if I tuck that in. Because this to me, yes, this is loose skin, but it's just loose skin on top of my pec muscles. So I want that to be free personally. I want to be able to have that movement and not feel that pressure. That pressure on my pecs was genuinely making it hard to breathe. So for me in particular, I just am not doing well with these bras that come down and then go out and cover this right here. I can definitely understand how that might be something that some people are self-conscious about. For me, I care more about being free in my movement and being comfortable, and I'm not comfortable having something dig into my pecs at all. So for me, any of the sports bras that are gonna come down and then stick out like that are gonna be a pass for me from Buffbunny collection. I think I've tried enough, and in this one I sized up to an extra large and it still wasn't enough for me. I think I'm just gonna pass on the higher coverage sports bra. This does obviously hold everything in place really well, but I'm not willing to strap my boobs down and not be able to breathe. It is a really cute sports bra, but ultimately I would rather just have my boobs out and be able to breathe than have myself just strapped up so tightly that I can't and that I'm really uncomfortable. This is just not for me. It seems like it's very popular with the BTC community. I'm more of a mid-chest gal, so I can't speak to that. I could definitely understand how this would be more comfortable for somebody who has a smaller band size. That is something else, is that this would be far too tight in my true to size extra large, so I knew I had to size up to the extra large. If you are smaller band size, bigger cup size, I bet this would be more comfortable for you. If you want more coverage up here, this is a great option for you. But if you're like me and you're broad chested and you have a bench goal, I don't recommend this bra. I'm gonna change into some Newberry Sports Bras for you. Here's our first Newberry Sports Bra, and again, I'm sorry if I'm saying that fabric wrong. This is the Alpha Sports Bra in black bossy print. This is super cute. This is more of a medium support. I love this, and I love the silhouette, and I wish it worked for me, but it really doesn't. This is like one of those sports bras that I tried on last Buffbunny collection review, and these straps right here just dig directly across my lat. This is a definite no for me. It's just one of those things, if you have a broad back, I just don't think that you're gonna be super comfortable. If you are more narrow, more petite, I think that you would be really comfortable, and this is a super cute silhouette. This is in a size extra large. Out of all the long line bras I tried in my true size extra large, this is by far the most comfortable. This makes me feel held in, but it doesn't make me feel squished. So I really like the bottom band on here, really love the silhouette. I also really like the side coverage here. This is a lot more comfortable for me than the last sports bra. I would love to see some modifications if at all possible. I know that I am just broad backed, so a big part of it may just be my frame. I love the silhouette, and it's very rare that I find a long line sports bra where this is very comfortable. I love that it's plunging but still offers a really good level of support. I really prefer the front of this bra compared to the last one that I tried on, but I cannot handle the lat digging in the back. It's just far too uncomfortable. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch into another Newberry bra. Next is the Rosa Sports Bra, which is a really popular pick. It is releasing in a short line version today, so I'm excited to try that on for you next. Here we have the Rosa Sports Bra, again in Nubre, and this is the color Pop Rocks in a size extra large. I'll go ahead and start with the front this time. The bottom band is not too uncomfortable. It does have some nice support. It does compress a little bit more than I'd like. I would say that the last one that I tried on, the Alpha Sports Bra, was still a little bit more comfortable and more just laid on the skin, whereas this actually does have some medium to high compression on it, I'd say, for me. And again, I'm just thicker on the bottom there. I do really think this is a cute amount of coverage. I like that there's just the smallest amount of cleavage. It does offer high to medium support. This again does come out too far for me though on the sides. Just this seam right here is actually kind of thick, and so for me it just does compress enough to make it uncomfortable. The seams here too up top are also really digging and feel really tight for me, and I think it's because of the back. Once again, where all those straps conjoin, I just get so much pressure and so much digging. And on this particular sports bra in my true size extra large, as opposed to the extra large I had on earlier, I'm not only feeling it here, but as I stated before, I'm also feeling it up here. I don't know if you can tell, but the seams from the other side of the sports bra are coming through. I don't know if that's normal or if it's because of the amount of tension that I'm placing on the bra in this area, but you can see those seams, and then you can also see the area where you can insert the cut pad, that little line there. You can see that on both sides for me. So this is a pass. This is just too compressive in my true size, and it's really hard to breathe in this sports bra. So I'm gonna go ahead and change into something that really did work really well for me, and I'm excited to share with you. This is also in the Nubre material. This is the Reversible Racerback Sports Bra, and this is in an extra large. This is in the color Margarita, and on the other side, it is the color Atari with the Margarita piping. I love that they went with a solid on one side and then the piping detail on the other. I like that it's not on both sides with the piping detail, that you get the benefit of having a solid color throughout on this sports bra, front and back, and then you get the benefit of having something with a little bit more flare on the other side. I really love this sports bra and I don't really know where to start. So I'll start with the front. I really love this plunging neckline. I think it suits my wider frame really well. My chest sits out a lot wider, so I can get away with the plunging neckline, and it offers a really decent amount of support for it being as low as it is. I also like that I don't get any kind of digging or tugging up here. I really like the amount of coverage on this side because I do feel held in, but once again, there's no digging. I don't feel like there's going to be any kind of pressure or impediment on any kind of push movement. So it's very, very comfortable up front and it's very flattering. I absolutely love it. This band here is thicker and it is an actual band, but it's not uncomfortable. It's not digging. It's offering the perfect amount of support in my opinion. So I absolutely love the front. Talk about the Racerback. I love this little peekaboo hole in the Racerback. I run really hot in the gym and I was actually surprised by how much this ventilation actually helped me. I love this from an aesthetic standpoint, but I also love that it has a practical application for me. This is a classic Racerback and I think that it fits me perfectly. You can see that it's right in between my lats. It's not doing any kind of digging. I do get the slightest bit of tension up here on my traps, but it's not anything that's intolerable, and it is really just because of the support. I don't have room for them to change that. I really hope that they don't, and I would love to see these come out in more colors, especially since you do get 2 bras in one with these. So just absolutely love how flattering it is, how comfortable it is. Everything in the back is really held in. So if you are somebody who is concerned about any kind of rolls or any kind of spillage, I feel like this really offers just optimal coverage, at least for my frame. Even though a lot of the Buffbunny collection sports bras haven't worked for me, I am just so thrilled with how this one fits me, and the best part is that I get 2 in 1. This is again the Reversible Racerback sports bra. This is by far my favorite, and honestly my favorite sports bra I've ever tried on. It's just really that comfortable. I love this fabric. I love the color that it comes in. Buffbunny knocked it out of the park for me with this one. I'm gonna talk to you about some bras in their butter fabric, and then I'm gonna switch back into the sports bra. This is the only one I'm comfortable enough to finish the review in, so when I talk with you about the shorts and the leggings, I'm gonna be back in this sports bra. Here's our first bra in the fabric butter. This is the curved sports bra in a size extra large and the color bone. This is very uncomfortable, so this is gonna be really fast. So let's talk about the front first. I was really excited to try this bra after the last few didn't work out well. I was really excited to give it a shot since it did have higher coverage, but it looked like it would be more comfortable on the sides. The thing that I'm having issue with though is that it's just tugging on my collarbone, so it's just really uncomfortable. I don't know if sizing up might help with that. I would hope that if I sized up though, I wouldn't get too much additional coverage on the side. Something I don't really like up here is this bottom. It's not a band, it's just a seam, so I don't really like this bottom seam and the shape here. If I raise my arms and bring them back down, it just looks kind of funky. I don't really like the way that looks personally, so just not a fan of that overall design. This is a pretty comfortable option. I don't know if maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know if they were just trying to accentuate the curves in the bust. I think that is a really cute idea. I just don't think it's very flattering once it's on me. I'll talk about the back here. So I am very uncomfortable with the back. I am getting a lot of digging and a lot of tension in this bottom seam here. I'm not too sure if I'm supposed to shimmy that up, but if I shimmy that up, then the front of the bra really rolls up in front, and I don't like the way that looks. And that's again if I shimmy up this bottom seam so that I'm more comfortable. So I'm not too sure if I'm just too broad backed to be in this sports bra. It just doesn't really work for me. This is the last higher coverage sports bra that I tried from Buffbunny collection before just completely giving up. I feel like I tried a fair amount. I think I tried at least 5 or 6 and they just didn't work out for me, and I did try to size up and that still didn't work out for me. me. So I went ahead and tried one of their best sellers and some things that were minimalistic, and even those options don't quite work out for me. So I have more bras in the fabric Butter up next, but that have a lot less coverage. All right, so here's another sports bra in that Butter fabric. And real quick, I haven't talked about the Butter fabric. So this again is kind of a brushed fabric. This isn't my favorite fabric when it comes to hand feel, but I do really appreciate how stretchy it is, and it is pretty smooth. So it's not awful, it's just not my favorite. When it comes to the fit of this sports bra, I am very uncomfortable. I feel like I'm about to be decapitated. It is really pulling on my neck here. So I think when it comes to halter neck sports bras, I'm probably going to be sizing up to an extra large when it comes to Buffbunny collection. The other thing that is very uncomfortable is this bottom band here. Just like that last sports bra, this seam on the bottom really digs and it really pulls for me. So even though the material of this sports bra is really stretchy, the seams are just not stretchy enough for me. I'm just getting a lot of overall discomfort. And I think with this particular silhouette, the way that this rolls isn't quite as noticeable. I still don't love it, but it's not as noticeable with this particular silhouette. It is super cute, it's just not super comfortable, so I won't be keeping it. I've got one more sports bra in Butter, and then we'll move on to some bottoms. All right, before I talk to you about this last sports bra that I have for you in the Butter fabric, this is the Glow sports bra, by the way, and the color Smoked Cherry in a size extra large. But before I get into this, I just wanted to do a quick review on a product that I do really like from Buffbunny, and that is going to be their scrunchies. So I have started to collect these. These do come in the different fabrics. Some of them are in Passionate, Newberry, or Butter, and I love them. My hair is naturally pretty wavy. It's pretty textured, and I really love these for the gym. I love them from around the house. They really do keep my hair up, secure, and in place, but they don't crease my hair. These are easy to pull out of my hair and they don't pull. I really love these scrunchies. So this is something that I'm going to be looking forward to every Buffbunny launch. And if you have hair like mine, I really recommend them. And I think it's a really fun way of adding some color and just accessorizing your gym fit. I also think that they're very practical when it comes to keeping my hair out of the way, which means that I'm keeping cool, and it means that my hair is also staying clean. So really appreciate the scrunchies. Let's go ahead and talk about this sports bra though. So not in love with this sports bra. This is also going back. So again, this is the Glow sports bra in the color Smoked Cherry in a size extra large. I'll turn around so you can look at the back. The back is the main reason why I am returning it. Once again, I'm just getting a lot of digging and a lot of tension. In this case, all over the place. Anywhere you see a line, I feel digging and I feel tension. I also feel it here. If I really wanted this sports bra, I would need to size up to an extra large. I don't think I ever will grab this sports bra in an extra large. The other thing that I don't like about it, this is gonna sound maybe kind of picky, but it takes me a while to figure out how to put it on. But it can get kind of twisted, and it does, and it's just a little flimsy and dainty. I'm just not interested in a sports bra that I'm potentially going to have to untangle. I go to the gym pretty early in the morning, and I just don't want to have to mess with that or deal with that. It is super cute, but it is just kind of an uncomfortable design. It's a little dainty. There's just nothing here that I really love enough to try it in a different size. The other thing that's not working in my true size is, I don't know if you can see the way that that is flipping up front, but the seams are kind of flipped out. So it's just a little too tight. It's a little too uncomfortable for me. And again, I just don't want to sit there and untangle a sports bra ever. So it's just not for me. I'm gonna go ahead and change into one of those Newberry Reversible sports bras that I like so much, and then I'll talk some bottoms with ya. I'm back in a more comfortable sports bra, and I'm excited to talk to you about some Buffbunny collection bottoms that I've purchased. But before I get into those pieces, I did want to give you a quick update. So yesterday was Saturday, May 17th. And after I finished filming sports bras, I took a break, I shopped the launch, and I decided that I would just go ahead and return my sports bras that I tried on for you and call it a day when it came to filming. I was not able to complete my return. I had mentioned before that it was really easy for me to file the return. I show up with Ulta with my QR code and they take my items from me. I went to pull up my QR code and it was nowhere to be found, and there was no way for me to pull up the previous history on my return. So as it stands right now, I don't really know what's going to happen with my return. The website is telling me that my return status is denied, and I'm really hoping we can turn that around because we are still within 30 days of me purchasing the item. So I will keep you posted in my next Buffbunny collection review, but as it stands right now, it doesn't look like I'm getting my money back, but I really hope that the brand works with me because I really don't need all of those sports bras that I just tried on for everybody today. So I will keep you posted. I'll go ahead and get into the shorts now. I've got the Dream Heather 7-inch shorts and the color Charcoal Heather, and these are in a size large. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do a brief squat test for you. I think the Dream Heather is going to be pretty squat proof. I don't see them running sheer even in some of the lighter colors. I'll talk a little bit more about this fabric and then I'll talk about the fit. This fabric reminds me a lot of Yori's Dream Knit performance material. The difference to me is that this has some structure to it and this has some compression. So I really like that. I love the jersey soft quality and the brushed feel that this has to it, and the amount of support that it offers and the way it hugs me I think is absolutely perfect. Some other quick notes about the material is that I don't think that this is really going to cling on to any kind of pet hair, and I don't foresee any kind of pilling issues. So I think this is a really nice quality material. I did try an extra large originally, and the waistband just did absolutely nothing for me. I would just look forward to seeing some modifications in the fit, and I'll go ahead and get into the fit with you. So these are a 7-inch short. And right off the bat, I do notice some digging into my quad. Now, keep in mind, I was filming yesterday in these shorts and I'm filming again today. I'm not getting any kind of relief since I've been in these shorts for a longer period of time now. They're still digging. I'm really not a fan of that. If you're somebody with bigger quads, I would steer away from these. I like the way the Legacy shorts feel on my quads better. So we're kind of disappointed in the way that is fitting. The other thing that I'm not the biggest fan of with these is that I do have some tension in the crotch area. I kind of fight some camel toe, and when I was doing hip thrusts in the gym with these, it was something that I had to be aware of pretty consistently. Moving up to the waistband, these are super high rise on me. I'm not sure if the waistband is meeting the band on my bra there, so I do have to fold them down, and I don't mind that. I am used to that as a tall girl with a short torso. I am used to folding down my leggings. I don't mind that. I would still like to see an improvement though, because I do feel like this material has so much vertical stretch potential that this really should be shortened and brought down a bit so that other people had the flexibility to adjust these shorts and not have this rise come all the way up to their waist. I don't know if the intention is for this seam to come all the way up to the waist or not. If it is, then it's fine, but I don't think that it is, because I think that this part right here is supposed to offer some kind of lower belly support. But if you're going to be able to bring this seam all the way up, then you're going to lose any kind of support from this right here. I think they look super cute on. They're just not super comfortable or an ideal fit. They do have an elasticated seam back here, so I really enjoy the way that those fit. I like that they move with you and they're not so structured or uncomfortable. I do really like this Dream Heather material, and I look forward to trying it again in the future if I hear about some modifications, especially in the rise and in the leg opening with the shorts. So not a bad option. If you're shaped differently than me, I would definitely give them a try because this is really nice on the body. I'm gonna switch into something that does work a lot better for me. I am excited to show you the Legacy 6-inch shorts. All right, here are some shorts that work really well for me inside the gym. These are the Legacy 6-inch shorts, and these are in the color Azul Bossy Print in a size large. I'll do a quick squat test for you. And I do have a nude thong on underneath. I don't know if you can see that. I don't wear anything else to the gym. I don't know why I would. I do like to wear a lot of bright colors. So it's worth it to me to just invest in a skin tone thong. So that's what I wear underneath here. This is what they look like on me before I roll them down. So they are pretty high rise. And again, I do have a short torso, so they are pretty much meeting the bra line there. I'm gonna go ahead and shimmy them into place. Now I have them folded over, and that is a lot more comfortable for me. Something I have noticed about the Legacy bottoms that I love is that the waistband does form to my form over time. So the first time I wore these Legacy shorts, I really wasn't getting along with this waistband very well. But the second time, and now the third time that I have these on, it's feeling a lot more glued to my body. So that's something to keep in mind if you get it and this waistband is a little too loose for you and you feel like it's just not adhering to you the way that you want it to. I would encourage you, if it's not horribly loose and you stuck with your true size, I would give it a couple of wears to see if you're not happier with it. I know that does risk your ability to return the item, but I am finding that in the flares that I've purchased and in these shorts, that this waistband does agree with me better as time goes on. So I'm really happy with the waistband. This falls under the mobility pillar with Buffbunny collection, so it's not something that they're claiming is going to be great for cardio or for strength training. This is something that they would recommend more for yoga or Pilates. However, I have been doing strength training in them and I think that they are so comfortable. They're very, very breathable, and they're definitely going to give my seamless shorts a run for their money. These are far more comfortable, and the other thing that I love when it comes to the fit is how they fit on my quads. So when I move my legs up and down, I don't get rolling, I get more of a shimmy. These are a 6-inch short and I don't feel like they look super long on me. I like where they hit me, and when I move, they're not getting that much shorter and they're not rolling. Something I don't enjoy about a lot of the seamless shorts that I own is that on the bottom they are thicker and they do actually roll up during movement. Some pairs are worse than others, and it's just something that I really can't tolerate on a leg day. I have decided that if I have to deal with a waistband that rolls a little bit versus a seam on my quad that's rolling a little bit, I will take the rolling waistband. I don't like things moving on my quads when I'm trying to move my quads. And when it comes to the waistband, I'll do a little dip here to see where it falls when I bend over, but it stays in place pretty well. It's something that I can feel, but it's not something that's actually going to interrupt my movement. These are a medium to light compression. I do heavily recommend sticking with your normal size. Again, I grabbed an extra large originally, and that waistband just did absolutely nothing for me. And I am very happy with, again, how they fit around my quads. I'm aware of them, I feel supported, but they're not digging, they're not uncomfortable. I feel a perfect amount of support in my tummy area. These really are the perfect gym short for me. I'm excited to see how they hold up over time, because if they do, we're slowly going to replace the rainbow of seamless shorts and put in some Legacy shorts, because I really love moving in these shorts. Be aware that I will be replacing some colors that I own and swapping out, so there may be some giveaways in the future. Now that we've tried on the shorts, I'm gonna switch into the leggings and see how those are fitting on my long legs. All right, I switched out the shorts for the Legacy leggings, and before I get into the details, I just have to say that this is the one area where I'm a little bit confused by Buffbunny collection. As a brand that does aim to be pretty inclusive and seems to be pretty inclusive, I'm just a little puzzled as to why they only offer one inseam when it comes to their leggings. I think it's a little odd for any activewear brand to expect a gal that's 5'2" and a gal that is 6'2" to share the same legging inseam. It just doesn't really make sense to me, and when it comes to inclusivity, I would like to see different inseam lengths when it comes to standard leggings. I appreciate the longer inseams in the flares, and when it comes to the more solid colors, I'll be more eager to purchase the flares from Buffbunny collection since they offer the longer inseam in those. But when it comes to the Legacy leggings, I will probably stick with colors I absolutely love or prints, because I just don't love the way a 26 inseam legging fits fits me. If you are a tall girl, then maybe you can relate to just not wanting something to look like a high water on you. If you are being sold that something is a full-length legging, you want it to look like a full-length legging on you. On top of that, for me to feel my most confident, I want to show off all the things that make me feel confident about my body. And one of the things that makes me feel confident about my body are my long legs. And I don't like the way a 26 inseam just shortens my legs and takes away from that a little bit. So I know I'm being picky and I probably just sound like a tall girl that's being a little snooty, but if you're a tall girl, please let me know you hear me in the comments, because I don't enjoy always wearing crew socks and having to wear long socks to hide how short a legging is, and I just want them to be full length. So if you can relate to me and you're on the taller side, please let me know in the comments below. These aren't horrible. I should give them a little bit more credit. They do have a decent amount of vertical length. It's definitely not too bad. I just would prefer it to be a full length legging on me. I like to wear shorter shoes, and I just don't really like the way that they look with the gap in between, and I don't always like to wear a longer sock. For me, it's not ideal, and it's just not going to be worth anything north of $50 if I don't love the print or have an inseam that I really like. I'll go ahead and do a quick squat proof test. I do think that there is a difference between doing a squat proof test in a short versus a legging, especially if you're like me and you are stretching the material both vertically and horizontally. And again, I am wearing a nude thong underneath, so I'm not too sure what you saw there, but for me, it's not something that I honestly give too much thought to. If somebody sees my underwear at the gym, it really doesn't bother me. I'm not there to care what other people think about me. I'm just there to move my body. But I know that some people, that is their biggest bugaboo. So there's a squat proof test in the leggings. I haven't worked out in these yet. I'll have to report back on how they actually perform, but the waistband feels very similar to the shorts and to the flares that I've tried in Legacy. I really think that the more I wear them, the more I'm going to be happier with the fit. I didn't talk about the glute area. I'm so sorry. These have the tri-seam detailing. As somebody who's been wearing a lot of Scrunch seamless, I was really surprised at how pleased I am with the definition that I get with these bottoms in the glute area. I think that they're very flattering. I'm very happy with the fit, and I like that I don't actually have a scrunch that's digging in anywhere. I'm very pleased with how these are flattering on my glutes. I did want to give you a quick comparison of the back seam on these versus the Dream Heather shorts that I tried on for you. This is just a seam that has some stretch to it. On the Dream Heather shorts, we have an actual elasticated back seam. It's not stitching that's just stretchy. There's an actual elastic there. I think the one thing I failed to mention is that these were also in a size large. If there's anything I missed, please let me know in the comments below. I've got one pair of bottoms left. I've got some aggressive scrunch shorts in the butter fabric for you. All right, last item for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you've made it all the way through this review, the last item I have are the aggressive scrunch 7-inch shorts. These are in the color smoked cherry, and these are also in a size large. I'll do a quick squat test for you, and I'm hoping that when I come up from the squat, I am not going to have a really bad camel toe. I will show you where the waistband is sitting coming up from the squat. So we did have some rolling. Before I get further into the fit on these shorts, I'll talk a little bit more about this butter fabric because I haven't really featured it on my channel before. I believe this is more of a nylon base. This has a lot of stretch, and this has a lot of snap to it compared to the other fabrics that I've tried. Definitely compared to the Nubre fabric, this has a lot more snap back. This is another brushed fabric that falls under the mobility category at Buffbunny. If I'm being completely honest, I do appreciate how smooth and how sleek this fabric feels, but overall it's just not my favorite Buffbunny material. I don't hate butter. I am a little bit concerned about the wear and tear on it, especially on the seams with the shorts. So I'll report back because I know for sure I'll have 2 more Buffbunny collection reviews for you. I will have one review where I've got some one pieces, some bodysuits, and then I'll have my haul from what I purchased from the Vita launch yesterday. I have already worn these once to the gym, and something that's a little bit different with the fit on these is the rise. I don't feel like these go up as high as the last couple of pairs. I don't already have them rolled down, but I have plenty of space between the bottom of my sports bra and the top of my short. That being said, these are in a size large, and I feel like I have more compression when I am able to roll my waistband over. Since the rise is shorter on these, I don't really have the ability to fold my waistband over. I wish I had a little bit more compression in this waistband so that I didn't feel like these shorts were going to roll over so easily. I think that's partially why they're rolling over so easily, is because there's really not enough compression holding them in place. When I worked out in these, I did notice that as I got a little dewy on my skin, the waistband did stick to me a little bit better, which makes sense. But toward the beginning of my workout, I was a little bit frustrated with the waistband. The other thing that I wasn't the biggest fan of, and I'm not too sure how it's looking now. Right now I'm okay, but these do tend to pull in the crotch area, and I do end up fighting some camel toe when I'm working out. As the name suggests, these do have a scrunch in the back. These are the aggressive scrunch shorts, and I will say that scrunch is talking to me. I don't really see it when I look at these shorts, but I do feel the scrunch, and I think that they are really flattering. So if you're somebody who's sensitive to actually feeling a scrunch in between your cheek, that is something to consider. They are very flattering. I don't know how much more flattering they are than the Legacy. I'll let you be the judge of that. I did see a recommendation to size up in the aggressive scrunch bottoms, and I think I will try that. Since this material has so much snapback, but not necessarily compression in the fit of the waist, I think that I would enjoy the size up so that I can fold the waistband over and I can avoid camel toe. Now, the last little bit of business when it comes to the fit on these is going to be how they're fitting on my quad. I'm not too sure why, but the 7-inch short feel like they dig in more on me than the 6-inch shorts. I do like the length that I get from these. For me, they are just a little bit too tight. I did have a really quick note about this smoked cherry color. I have purchased a bodysuit in this color, and I do really love it. It reminds me a lot of vintage purple from Honor Active, so I will be getting rid of my Honor Active vintage purple leggings, sports bra, and shorts, as well as some other pieces from that brand. If you are a subscriber, please stay tuned because there will be an opportunity for you in the near future to get some of those items for free. They are gently used items, but I am happy to ship them to you for free. I hope I covered everything in this try on haul for you, and that if you decide to shop Buffbunny collection, I hope that I helped you make some informed purchases. I'm really looking forward to the haul that I have coming. I cannot wait to film the bodysuits for you because I'm really surprised at how often I want to grab them, especially as a girl that loves to mix and match. I'm surprised at how often I want to grab a bodysuit, so I'm really excited to share those with you soon. Until then, I hope you continue to enjoy your spring, and I look forward to seeing you in the next haul.